If you often start things and then give up before you finish, then this video is for you. I struggled with this for years. I would be excited to start something, but then halfway through, I would just not feel motivated anymore to finish it. Even when I cared about the outcome, thinking of completing the task did not feel rewarding to me anymore. Worse, the closer I came to finishing the task, the less motivated I felt doing it. You might think this is laziness, lack of discipline or willpower, or being afraid of failure, but this is not it. You may, like me, and many others, have tried to be more disciplined and pushed yourself, try time management, or listen to motivational speeches. But it just did not work. Not even David Goggins could get me motivated to finish. I went to war with my mind and lost. So here's the truth. Struggling to finish projects and losing motivation halfway through is common for people who left an abusive relationship or grew up in a toxic family dynamic. And that is because the brain is a prediction organ. Abuse changes what the brain predicts finishing a task means and the consequences of finishing that task. When what you do is constantly criticized, even if it's framed as just wanting to help you, your brain learns that effort does not produce reward. It may also learn that nothing you do is good enough, which can create learned helplessness, where you feel it is no use completing something because it will not be good enough anyway. This destroys any motivation and excitement you may have had when you started the task. Your brain says, why bother? It will not be perfect in any case, no matter how hard we try. So we may as well give up now. If you were punished in some way for finishing a task, maybe because you did better than the other person, your brain may see finishing tasks as dangerous. It will then try to protect you from this danger by stopping you from completing tasks. If your effort and actions were dismissed, you may lose the emotional connection to completing tasks. It may feel as if what you do has no meaning or purpose and adds no value to the world. So why even try? If you were constantly told you will not finish, so you may as well give up now and save yourself the embarrassment of failing, you may eventually internalize that belief and start to wonder if you have what it takes to finish something. Then, as soon as it looks like things may not go easily, even if the outcome may be positive, you may stop because you do not trust yourself to handle setbacks. So no matter how much you try to motivate yourself, push yourself, or even set habits and routines, your mind will resist finishing tasks because it predicts it is unsafe to do so or a wasted effort doing something that has no meaning. The human brain is wired to keep you safe and conserve energy. So how do we rewire our brain so that finishing tasks feels rewarding, good enough, and not a wasted effort? Not by forcing yourself through discipline, punishment, or shame. That often backfires because the problem is not motivation or laziness. It is your brain thinking finishing is dangerous or wasteful. Our brains learn through action, and they need to learn that completing tasks is safe, rewarding, and meaningful. This is what helped me and may help you. First, reduce tasks to smaller steps so you can finish a step before your brain has a chance to stop you. Redefine completing as completing the small step instead of the original task. For example, instead of completing is washing all the dishes, say that completing is washing just one item. This lowers resistance, and washing one item is fast enough that you can call it victory before your brain can intervene and stop you. Washing dishes now becomes a project consisting of many small tasks that are quick and safe to do individually. Second, after completing a task, like washing one plate, take a few seconds and appreciate what you did. Congratulate and reward yourself, maybe with a hug or a pat on the back, for both your effort and completing the task. It is about finishing, not about perfection. Know that it is normal to feel resistance. You are basically taking your mind to the gym. What is important is progress. So even if you give up at first, winning is going further and further with each try, so that eventually you finish the task. Maybe at first you wash only half a plate, then 65% of a plate, then 80%, then 90%, and finally you complete the task by washing the entire plate. This is success and you can feel proud of yourself. Then take a breath and notice that nothing bad happened. Third, after completing a task, reconnect the task to a personal value to give it meaning and purpose. For instance, after you washed a plate or cup, you can say, "See, this is proof I am a person who cleans my dishes." You basically turn things around. Before, if you didn't wash all the dishes, it could feel like proof you weren't a person who cleans the dishes. Now, any effort in washing your dishes, even if you wash only one item, is proof of your value statement. It is important, however, to not use your personal value statements to try to push yourself to start doing a task, as this often backfires. So when you're lying on the couch, you do not say to yourself, "I'm a person who washes my dishes," to try to get yourself to go wash dishes. Because if you fail to get up, it is proof your value statement is wrong. That is often why affirmations can backfire. Only use your value statement or affirmation of proof of your value after you completed the task to reinforce the value belief. This way your mind cannot argue against the statement, as you have proof by just having completed the task. Fourth, after completing the task, say to yourself, "If I can wash one item, I can do it again." So you repeat the same task until the project, like washing the dishes, is done. Even if you need to step away for a bit to relax, it is not failure, because each item you washed is a task that was completed successfully. Fifth, this is very important. Gradually increase the scale and length of a task. We do not want to turn our life into a TikTok feed where everything we do is turned into small dopamine hits. The aim is just to get our brains to feel completing tasks is safe and has value. At this point, we already know that completing the task of washing one item is safe, and that repeating that task at least twice is also safe. So now we can combine the two tasks into one. Thus, now the definition of a task becomes washing 2 items. If this is too big a step, try 1.5 items, then 1 item and say 80% of a second item, until you can wash 2 items. Slowly over time, by increasing the task size, we train our brain that investing larger and larger amounts of time and energy into doing something is safe and meaningful. This is similar to going to the gym and gradually over time exercising with heavier and heavier weights. Remember, it is not about how much you get done in a day, but how many times you experience safe completion of a task and how long it takes to do a task before you feel uncomfortable. In this case, feeling like you safely completed 10 tasks by washing 10 items is more important for your brain than feeling like you got a lot done by, say, cleaning the entire house. How much you got done is not the issue. Your brain feeling it is safe to complete a task is the issue. In time, smaller tasks will become larger tasks, and then you can focus on stacking larger tasks until you can clean the entire home without feeling uncomfortable. Remember, even if the steps are small, each safe completion is rewiring the brain. That's what matters more than how much you get done. It is normal to feel resistance during a task, which often happens just before you finish it. When it does, say to yourself that it is just old conditioning and your brain trying to keep you safe from an environment you are no longer living in. Remind yourself that you're safe now and that completing this task is safe to do. Thank the old thought pattern for keeping you safe in the past, but that you no longer need it. When you do finish a task, allow it to be enough. Do not criticize your effort and say you could have done it better. It is not about perfection, it is about completion. To recap, each time you finish something, even if it seems tiny, your brain learns that finishing is safe, has value and meaning, and it is not a wasted effort. Remember, when finishing tasks feels hard, you're not broken. You are responding exactly how a human brain responds to repeated emotional danger. Your brain relearns safety through small, consistent, safe completion experiences. Something else that can happen when you struggle to finish tasks is that you may start seeing beginning a task as dangerous. This can cause you to procrastinate and not start tasks until the last moment or until it becomes an emergency. If this connects with you, then watch this video next. Thank you for watching.